This Notebook LM video takes a look at the timeless symbol of the Tree of Life found in cultures, religions, and mythologies around the world. In Christianity, the cross was envisioned as a living tree, transforming death into salvation. It remains a vibrant, evolving symbol that challenges each generation to consider where they find connection, meaning, and roots.
Have you ever noticed how some symbols just pop up everywhere? I mean, from ancient carvings to modern art. Well, today we're going to get to the bottom of one of the biggest ones of all, the Tree of Life. It's an image that has sunk its roots deep, and I mean deep, into our collective imagination for literally thousands of years. So what's the deal, right? How did this one single image of a tree manage to thrive in the deserts of Mesopotamia, the forests of Europe, and across the pages of the world's most sacred texts? What is it about this symbol that speaks to us so deeply? Well, let's dive in and see if we can figure it out.
So let's take a trip way back, like 4,000 years ago, to the cradle of civilization. In the ancient Near East, you'd see this image everywhere, and I mean etched into everything from tiny little personal seals to massive temple walls. It's a stylized, sacred tree, usually a date palm, and it's almost always flanked by these incredible winged guardians or mythical beasts.
Okay, now let's jump forward a few thousand years. The Tree of Life has migrated across continents, across entire cultures. And in medieval Europe, it shows up in a totally new and kind of startling form. Christians started seeing the instrument of death, the cross, as a living, budding tree. They even called it the lignum vitae, which means wood of life. Wild, right?
And you know, at the exact same time, in Jewish tradition, the symbol was finding another really powerful home. In ancient synagogues, you'd often find a tree painted right above the ark that held the sacred scrolls. It was this beautiful visual reminder that the Torah itself is the true tree of life. So, okay, we've got a palm tree, a cross, and a sacred text, all being called the same thing. What in the world is the common thread here?
To find that thread, we've got to go back, all the way back to the beginning. Back to a time when just surviving was a daily struggle, and the land was everything. You see, for these first civilizations, the sacred tree wasn't just some plant. It was basically a hotline to the divine. It was the physical proof of a fertility goddess's power, her ability to grant the things that mattered most. You know, a full belly, clean water, and the safety that comes with having both of those things. And what's so cool is that every little detail in these ancient carvings tells a part of this story. That towering date palm, just heavy with fruit, that was a clear symbol of the goddess's incredible generosity. And the goats feeding peacefully at its base, they weren't just random animals, they represented the total security and contentment her followers enjoyed. It's this perfect, complete vision of a world in balance. But what happens when that simple, beautiful idea of divine abundance gets complicated? Well, in one of the most influential stories ever told, the Garden of Eden, that single tree splits in two, and suddenly the fate of all humanity is hanging in the balance. All of a sudden, this straightforward symbol of life is fractured. On one side, you've got the Tree of Life, promising eternal bliss, a direct line to God. But on the other, you have the Tree of Knowledge. It offers insight, wisdom, but it comes with a heavy price. Knowing the difference between good and evil, knowing hardship, and ultimately, knowing death. And humanity is standing right there, at the crossroads.
And the consequences of that choice? They're world-altering. A single bite of fruit shatters the perfect harmony of Eden. Humanity gets wisdom, but they lose paradise. They're cast out, and the gates are barred, specifically to keep them away from the Tree of Life. And just like that, the symbol is no longer a gift to be enjoyed. It's a memory of something lost, a goal to maybe one day get back to.
But here is where it gets really fascinating. The story of Eden didn't kill the symbol, no way. If anything, it supercharged it. The Tree of Life was reborn, it was adapted, and it was woven into the very fabric of the new religions that grew out of these ancient traditions. In Judaism, for instance, the quest to get back to the Tree of Life turned inward. The physical tree in that lost garden, it was replaced by a spiritual one, the Torah. Just like the proverb says, she is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her. Suddenly, the path back to that divine connection wasn't through a garden anymore, but through wisdom and study and living a righteous life. Christianity takes this whole idea of rebirth to a completely different level. It takes the ultimate symbol of death, the Roman cross, and flips it, transforms it into the new Tree of Life. There's even this beautiful legend that the cross was made from the wood of a tree that grew from a single seed of the original tree of knowledge. In one powerful image, death itself is conquered, and that path to eternal life, the one lost in Eden, is reopened. But the tree of life's roots spread way beyond the Abrahamic faiths. Just look at Norse mythology. Yggdrasil, the world tree, isn't just a symbol of the cosmos, it is the cosmos. This gigantic ash tree literally holds all 9 realms in its branches. And get this, when the world ends in the fire of Ragnarok, it's Yggdrasil that shelters the last 2 humans, life and desire for life, who go on to repopulate the new earth. Talk about the ultimate symbol of endurance.
So from ancient goddesses all the way to the end of the world, we've seen the Tree of Life take on just countless forms, which, brings us all the way back to our big question. Why this symbol? What gives it such incredible staying power?
Well, the answer, it seems, is its incredible adaptability. The Tree of Life has lasted because it's never been about just one thing. It's more like a mirror, reflecting humanity's deepest questions and concerns in any given era. For our ancient ancestors, it was all about survival and fertility. For the writers of Genesis, it became this powerful way to explore morality and choice. And for later religions, it was the perfect symbol for salvation and cosmic order. The tree itself stays the same, but what we see in its branches is always, always changing.
So you see, the Tree of Life isn't some dusty old relic. It is a living, breathing symbol that just continues to grow and evolve. It's a question that each generation, and really each one of us, has to answer for ourselves. Where do we find our source of life? What connects us to something bigger than ourselves? What are the roots that ground us, and what are the branches we're reaching for? This symbol has been asking us these questions for 4,000 years, and now it's asking you.